Hey Muses, welcome back to the channel. Sarah here. Today I thought I would go over how I sort of plan runs, like training. This does talk about mileage and stuff, so if that's not resonating with you or you don't like those sorts of things, then this might not be the video for you. I'm running a 10K in April, I haven't technically signed up for it yet, but I am planning on running that. It's a 10K trail race. So the way I train for races might not work for you, and I think that's really important to keep in mind. You need to listen to your body and what it's telling you. There's always going to be a bajillion more races, like literally a bajillion. There's only one you. So make sure to take care of your body. If it's talking to you or it's not working out, then maybe that's not right for you. So I've actually been kind of giving January a test run for running. I kind of have a sticky relationship with running, so I wanted to try it in January and see how I felt, and I'm feeling really great. I'm gonna show you what I've been doing for the month of January. So here's my bullet journal. I guess for the month of January, I'm just starting bullet journaling, so no judgment. I've been learning how to do it, but for January, I kind of put a little running shoe because I wanted to focus on running. I'm applying for jobs right now, and I wanted to focus on myself. So, yeah. And then you might remember this page from planning my 2022 trips video, which I'm going to come back to this in a bit for planning the rest of my training. But this is the month of January, and just sort of what it looks like. I started recording kind of mid-January what I was doing, and so I have the number of miles I ran that day and what type of run it is. So I'm kind of combining trail and road runs, which my road runs actually take place on Lady Bird Lake Trail. If you've been there, it's very much a sort of like dirt trail, but it doesn't feel like a real trail to me where there's like rocks everywhere, so I kind of consider it just a road run. Yeah, my first week I have 2 miles on the trail and 2.5 on the road, and then I just kept recording, and I did my first week of 3 days just to sort of build up to that. I don't want to just jump right into running 3 days. I've had problems in the past with jumping into 3 days too quickly and hurting myself, so I made sure to run like 3 weeks. I did this week too, but I don't have it recorded. I don't remember what I did, but I did 3 weeks of just 2 days of small runs, and then my first 3-day week here. I recorded weekly mileage here, so there's 4.5, 5, and then 7 miles. I think if I want to be running a 10K as like my long run, I'm shooting for 15 to 20 miles like total weekly mileage by race weekend. And with that being said, I follow the 10% rule. Every time I have deviated from the 10% rule, I hurt myself. The 10% rule for training while running is you increase your total weekly mileage by 10% at most every week. I broke that when I went from 2 to 3 days of training, but now that I have an end weekly mileage goal, 15 to 20 by race weekend, kind of need to go through the weeks leading up to the race and figure out if I can just follow the 10% rule pretty casually and make it to 15 to 20 miles, or if I need to be a little more strict. Adding those little extra tenths of a mile can really add up, especially if you're on a time crunch. So I'm gonna go look at my bigger calendar for the year and sort of figure it out from there. Here's my 2022 trip page. Again, I kind of talked about this in a different video, but I'm gonna use it right now to sort of figure out if I can loosely follow that 10% or not. So at the end of January, I was doing about 7 miles. I'm just gonna go up half a mile each week and see where that ends up at the start of April. The race is the 1st through the 2nd, so this is the week I'm looking at to be 15 to 20 miles. That's what I am shooting for. February, let's see, week 1 that'll be 7.5, and then 8, 8.5, 9, 9.5, 10, and then 10% of 10 is 1, so I can start going up by a mile each week, which this is the April 1st week, so that would actually make me at 13 miles. So that is not in the 15 to 20 range. So I need to go back and kind of increase my mileage somewhere. Like here, I could be increasing by 0.7, 0.8, and 0.9 miles instead of just half a mile. I just think it's easier, but that's not gonna work. I'll say 7.5 there, and then I'll do 8.2 miles. Oh, that's gross. 9. I'll just do 10 here. 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 by race weekend. So that's pretty good. I can get to 15 by just ramping it up a little bit right now, and then I can just stick to easy 1 mile additions. So I do always tend to like to have a little bit of wiggle room. Like sometimes shit just happens, especially right now in COVID. I honestly don't know how we haven't gotten it yet. You know, what if I get sick a week or I'm just really not feeling well? Yeah, it just happens. But it seems very feasible to get to 15 at least. Now I'm gonna go ahead and plan my February runs. And I will say I really enjoy writing things down, so bullet journaling just kind of is a natural thing for me, which is why I'm starting to try it. But, you know, if you don't like handwritten things or writing things down, there's plenty of electronic planners or scheduling apps that you can use. So just because I do it this way does not mean you need to do it this way. And again, just find what works best for you and yeah, make it fun. I finished my February calendar and I'm just gonna go back a little bit and look. So February I had 7.5, 8.2, 9, 10 total weekly miles. So now I'm gonna go back to February. I have a total weekly miles column here. So this one should be 7.5. This one should be 8.2. This one's gonna be 9, and this one's gonna be 10. And, you know, again, I use whiteout in case something doesn't work, and I'm just gonna kind of build my mileage from here. And so I had a 2 to 3 week, both of the 2s were on the trail, so maybe I'll do a 2.5 trail on Monday, 2.5 trail, and I'll do a 2 on Wednesday for another trail, and then I will keep my 3 road run. Another important note here is if you're training for a trail run or a road run, depending on what you are training for, you might want to mix things up a little. So I am doing trail run with no focus on speed, so I'm gonna do mostly just trail and road distance runs at a normal pace. I am definitely reserving the right to make any of these days into a speed day. If you watched my hill workout one during Vlogmas, I actually found it really fun to do hills. And I think part of that is just because I just get bored sometimes, and so mixing in speed can be really good for that. So there we have it. I just added miles accordingly. This is very rough. It's just kind of a guideline for me moving forward for the month of February. I might not follow this exactly, but it gives me a good baseline to follow, and you can add in speed work if you want. That could be tempo runs, that could be fartleks, that could be hill workouts. You could also mix up where you add your mileage. You could add it to speed workouts. You could add it to road runs, distance runs, or if you're doing kind of a mix of trail and road runs like me, you can add it to whichever one. That's just kind of what I do, and you know, I do try to build in some wiggle room. Not everything always goes according to plan. Yeah, it's important for me to sort of have a baseline guide just so I can like see things, and it gives me encouragement that I can do this. I'm pretty excited about it. I hope this helped you and you learned something from it. And I hope it can help you plan your own races if that's what you're into, or, you know, just planning runs generally. You don't have to have a race to want to run. I hope this was helpful to you. If so, go ahead and give it a like. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye.